Hi everyone, how is it going? Happy Thursday. I hope you're doing well. Today we're gonna do something new on the channel. We just had a new moon in Gemini and it seemed like a good idea to start something new. So we're gonna look at the transits for the month of June. So I'm gonna start with giving you an overview of the most important transits that caught my eye. And later in this video, I'm gonna walk you through each of the 12 signs. So be sure to stick with me. And hi Inge. Hi, hope everyone has a nice day. I had a nice day. I've been walking for 2 hours with the dog today. So yeah, I'm totally zen to start this show today. So if you're new here on the channel, my name is Astrid. Welcome. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And we're gonna start by looking at the month of June. So yeah, the most important astrology transits, because there are a lot of them. I didn't really include all the trines and all the sextiles. I just picked the ones that really caught my eye. And hey, Hannah. Hannah, yes, was just looking what to listen, and this pops up ready for June. Yes, June is going to be a good month, guys. I'm very, very happy to do this overview. So, I did include one sextile in today's video because it's like a very, very nice one and it's a very lucky transit to start the month with. So on June 5th, we're gonna see a Venus in Aries sextile and Jupiter in Gemini. So this is really a sextile that brings a lot of a vibrant spark and a lot of charm, confidence, and also a sort of ease and joy and happiness in relationships can also play out in the realms of your creativity and also in finances because Venus, of course, rules money and love. So Venus in Aries really expresses love very boldly and it also creates immediate emotional feedback. While Jupiter in Gemini is very curious, very social, and quick thinking. And this is going to be one of the last beautiful sextiles of Jupiter while it's still in Gemini because it's going to quickly shift towards Cancer, which is going to be a major, major happening this month. So but Venus and Jupiter together, they are always times of abundance, of joy, of happiness, and Jupiter expands everything. So it's like an expansion of the finer things in life. So yeah, that's a really good sextile. Together they create this moment of serendipity that really like fosters social connection, can also play out in a little bit of flirtation and also can build up towards like a big creative momentum. So yeah, the boldness of Venus in Aries is gonna met with like the verbal qualities of Jupiter in Gemini, making this like a transit that's like ideal for initiating romantic or financial opportunities with a lot of courage and cleverness. That's the sign of Gemini, of course, where Jupiter is still in. So yeah, an assertive yet playful communication, very good for creative brainstorming and also for taking the initiative in social environments. So just know, because it's a sextile, these things don't fall into your lap like when we have a trine aspect. A sextile, a 60-degree aspect, it really offers an opportunity, but it depends on how you engage with it. So yeah, it won't drop these rewards into your lap, but even if you take a small step, the rewards can really snowball during a sextile. So if you receive this last minute invitation, just say yes. This is really going to be a day to move forward with a lot of pleasure and optimism. And it's especially beneficial for Libra and Taurus risings because Venus is your chart ruler. So yeah, be ready to charm and be charmed. And Rita, hi Rita, good day, lovely Astrid, so happy for this video and good to hear June is going to be good. Yes, June is going to have so much happiness. Like since the fall of 2024, we have been going through all these retrogrades. Well, now finally we're like turning over this big leaf. We're actually starting a whole new chapter in June, so I'm very, very happy. And Yellow Chrono Looking says, hello from Canada. You're the best. Thank you. Oh, Canada, I would love to visit it one day. So the next transit is even going to be better because Venus is going to ingress into Taurus on June the 6th. So Venus, the planet of love, beauty, charm, all the good things in life, is going to switch over to Taurus, which is her home sign. So yeah, like finally, after months of being retrograde in Aries and in Pisces, she finally returns to her most sensual and grounded form in Taurus. Oh my God. So yeah, it's like deep, deep, it deeply values stability and comfort and beauty, and there's going to be this renewed craving for emotional and financial security because Taurus likes to keep things stable, but it's also very welcome for romantic loyalty and also to enjoy these physical pleasures and sensuality and cuddles, and yeah, it's like very, very cool because Venus and Taurus really encourages us to slow down and really enjoy life's simple luxuries that can be good food, touch, cuddles, nature, or like things you find beautiful. So very good time to indulge in self-care and things you like the most, and also yeah, to like revisit your relationship with money and make some changes in that or realign with what you truly value on love and finances. So yeah, a very good transit that really creates this atmosphere where romantic relationships can deepen through physical presence, through touch, and also through this shared comfort, because Venus in Taurus wants yeah, more consistency, more loyalty, and she really has this sensual expression. So yeah, also very beneficial for Libra and Taurus risings, or if you have a natal Venus in Taurus, then you have a Venus return, which is also very, very beautiful. So yeah, you're then being reminded to reclaim your power through beauty and renewed alignment with your own values. Yeah, make sure if you realign something in that area that it's enduring and sustainable and stable, because that is what Taurus signifies. Then on June the 7th, we have Mercury conjunct Jupiter, and it's very, very special because Jupiter is going to switch to Cancer, and on the last one of the last days, Mercury is going to conjunct it. So yeah, a highly expansive mental transit. It like supercharges thinking, speaking, writing, and also communication, because that's all part of Mercury, and Jupiter really enlarges everything that it touches. So we can experience a big flood of ideas, a renewed vision, or we want to communicate about our new vision, and also it can give a lot of clarity. So a very good day to share thoughts, to publish something, to teach, to learn, to pitch, to promote. And conversations are going to be very bold and also more philosophical. So, and yeah, it can be big news. On a collective level, we'll see a huge announcement for sure. But in your personal life, there can also be a breakthrough in communication, or you can feel like your email box or your inbox on Instagram explodes with all these people that want to have a quick chat with you. So yeah, good time to express your humor. Also, yeah, Gemini loves options and variety, and Jupiter's involvement brings this appetite for learning and curiosity. So also a very good day to study something new. We are going to feel that the mind is going to be very hungry, and words are going to overflow. So it can be excellent for brainstorming or teaching, but be a little bit careful for this mental exaggeration, and also don't make promises that like outpace reality, or that like yeah, make sure you fact check also before you share something, and also make sure you pause before you overcommit to something, because you're going to feel excited. Very, very beneficial for Gemini and Virgo risings, because Mercury is your chart ruler. So yeah, it's going to be a key day to use your voice and shift your mindset as well. And something, especially if you're a Gemini or a Virgo, something that you speak, write, or publish around this day could really ripple far and wide. So an excellent day for communication, and also yeah, for like a realignment through language, and Very, very important. Don't forget to listen as much as you're gonna want to speak. With Jupiter and Gemini and Mercury, that's like talk, 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 talk. So yeah, listen as well. Then on June the 8th, Mercury is going to ingress into Cancer. So when Mercury is in Gemini, it's all about the mind. It's all about speaking and information and processing information. But on June the 8th, it switches into Cancer. And then Mercury, the planet of communication, is going to go from like intellectual, Gemini, to emotional, intuitive, and reflective, because Cancer is, of course, a moon-ruled sign of Cancer. So yeah, it's like it values safety, empathy, and also emotional truth. So that's going to be a transit that is going to encourage us to speak from the heart and also to process our thoughts through feelings. Also very beneficial to realign your head and your heart. They can be more in sync again. So it's also going to stimulate a more nurturing, sentimental, and also memory-rich dialogue. So yeah, it's a time when our communication is going to turn more inward and protective as well. You're going to notice that some people are going to be more reserved or more sensitive in how they speak and respond. So others are going to focus more on their home, on their family, on their roots, and also their personal history. So Mercury in Cancer is not interested in logic alone. It wants to feel seen, heard, and understood as well. So yeah, it can bring very deep healing conversations. But some people are going to feel a little bit more defensive or a little bit over emotional. So if you have a square towards your own Mercury in your natal chart, then you can be a little bit more moody, or your brain can be more sensitive, because yeah, and whenever things happen in Cancer, our sensitivity increases. So also worth to mention that whenever Mercury does jump into Cancer, that it will form a square to Neptune and Aries. So some people who are not in tune with their emotions can feel a little bit confused, or can experience temporary mental fog for like 2-3 days, and then it will be past. So yeah, slow down, process, and also communicate very gently and very soft, and yeah, speak with a lot of softness. Then the next day after, and I've put like these marks because Jupiter is going to ingress into Cancer on June the 9th. So yeah, very, very particularly significant transit. I've been like waiting for this for like half a year, because yeah, Jupiter is going to enter into Cancer, and Jupiter is exalted in Cancer, meaning its energy is like especially potent and beneficial. Like Jupiter is a planet of abundance, of luck, of joy, but in Gemini it was a little bit too much focused on all the information, and we had a big overflow of information actually. But now that it's going to jump into Cancer, it's going to operate better than in Gemini. So it's going to be a powerful 12-month period that's going to be focused on this emotional growth, on expanding our home. Our family can be a source of joy, and increased fertility as well, and also very beneficial for ancestral healing. Yeah, it's like very nurturing, very nourishing, and also inner security are going to take center stage. And a lot of people are going to feel this pull towards cocooning, nesting, relocating, or deepening emotional bonds. So yeah, if you're a Cancer or a Cancer rising, it's going to be a major personal year of expansion. But as with Mercury that jumped into Cancer, whenever Jupiter enters Cancer, it's also going to form a square to Saturn and Neptune in Aries. So in the beginning, it's going to create a little bit tension between the desire to emotionally expand and the need to stay disciplined, grounded, and also realistic, because it's going to form a square to Saturn. And Saturn in Aries demands personal accountability and action, while Neptune's presence, also in Aries, warns against this wishful thinking. So the lesson here is that emotional fulfillment must be earned, actually, And it must be earned through structure and clarity, not through fantasy and avoidance. So yeah, opportunities that are going to be related to family growth, to moving and strengthening your emotional foundation within, but it will require a lot of effort and discernment. And there's going to be this emotional generosity and deeper empathy, but also the risk of this emotional overwhelm, or we want to retreat into our comfort zones, because Jupiter makes everything larger and Cancer is the sign of emotions and the home. So it's not just about feeling good, it's also about building something that is emotionally sustainable. And those who have Aries placements may experience internal conflicts between independence and wanting to care for others. But I'm going to make a whole Jupiter in Cancer video, of course. Then the day after, on June the 11th, we're going to have a full moon in Sagittarius. And I'm quickly going to pull up the chart so you can follow along. So, yeah, the moon in Sagittarius is going to be a little bit more intense. Normally, Sagittarius is very light. It's about higher wisdom. It's about foreign traveling, long distance traveling. And our belief system, our mindset is all part of Sagittarius. But it's happening on the 20th degree, which is a Scorpio degree. So yeah, our mindset will have this intense kind of purging. And full moons always represent culmination and release. And in Sagittarius, that revolves around truth, beliefs, personal philosophy, and also our long-term vision, and also freedom. I like this sign a lot, Sagittarius. So it's going to be a moment to release outdated perspectives and really take ownership of your own worldview. We can also see a mutable cross to the North Node and the South Node, and it creates a little bit tension. The mutable cross is occurring at 4 points: intellect, Gemini, emotional expansion, Sagittarius, and also our soul purpose, the Pisces North Node. And then also our daily habits, Virgo South Node. So many are going to feel emotionally pulled in different directions, caught between these old habits and these new strong callings. But yeah, just stay flexible. It's immutable signs, so it can be very, very changeable. And of course, Jupiter rules the full moon, because Jupiter is the ruler of Sagittarius, and it's already jumped into Cancer. So yeah, possibly insightful conversations, important realizations, or these life-changing announcements. I think we're gonna have some very big news in the media. So yeah, if you're a mutable sign, Gemini, Virgo, Sag, or Pisces, you will feel it most intensely. So stay open, curious, and also grounded in your emotional truth. And just know that you might have to purge some things from your mindset, and it will give you more freedom, more happiness, and all of that. And Abundance Stash says Cancer, Sun, Sag, Rising, Gemini, Moon, Venus, Jupiter. Oh, that is so, so beautiful. You will feel this one a lot. And with the Cancer Sun, with Jupiter entering your sign, you're going to have a year filled of happiness. But wait a little bit until Jupiter passes its first 5 degrees, so it stops squaring Saturn. And then you will have more beneficial energy from Jupiter. So after the full moon on June 15th, Mars in Leo is going to square Uranus in Taurus. And that is actually going to be a big one. It's going to create a little bit of chaos, as Uranus always likes to do, of course. But yeah, this one is going to be a very high voltage and a bit of a disruptive transit. Mars in Leo, very passionate, very bold, very expressive seeking to like act with flair and with a lot of courage. But it's going to square Uranus and Taurus, so we're faced with these unpredictable changes. People can have this impulsive behavior, and there can also be ego clashes. And Uranus really resists stagnation, while Taurus prefers safety and familiarity. So yeah, break free from old patterns, even if it causes discomfort or a lot of chaos. We're going to see sudden shifts in finances, or also relationships, especially where ego or controlment is involved. They're going to break free from that. And just know that around the middle of the month, the energy is going to be highly unstable. And I also expect a lot of market volatility, unpredictable reactions from people, and there can also be tech or infrastructure disruptions. And Uranus is also the sign of seismic activity, eruptions, things going on in the sky. And I think we will see some weather disasters under this aspect. I do not want to manifest it, but I think we can see a rather big earthquake, tectonic plates that get triggered. That's always something to do with Uranus. So in the personal realm, people may act a little bit recklessly or say things that they can't take back. So be a little bit careful about that. But bold moves are possible, but so are explosive conflicts. So really channel this force into innovation rather than in confrontation. And really use the fire of Mars and Leo to power through your fear and avoid putting up these ultimatums or impulsive decisions. When Uranus is involved, the outcome is going to surprise us. So don't be too attached to your plan in the middle of the month, because Uranus always shakes up what's stuck. And it does that to clear the path for something more dynamic to happen. It's the planet of innovation and sudden insights. Then on the same day, we're going to see Jupiter in Cancer square Saturn in Aries, and that is going to be the third and final square between Jupiter and Saturn that started in 2024. Now it's going to be in whole different signs. So yeah, it's going to present culmination around the lessons of growth and responsibility, what we've been going through for the last year. And Jupiter in Cancer is going to want to nurture, protect, and also emotionally expand. And Saturn in Aries really demands this independence. It wants accountability, and the square between them really creates inner tension. Do I follow my emotional needs, or do I stand on my own and push forward? Or do I let my emotions control me and stay independent, or do I drop my guard and let it all in? It's going to be like this all or nothing. So the lesson here is actually integration, and the square is going to force us to reconcile emotional security with personal discipline. I know some people are going to struggle with that, as do I. So these energies are in conflict. So yeah, you might feel like there's a temporary block in progress, and it can also bring up a little bit of self-doubt. And I think on the world stage that we're going to see possible attempts to block our ego, the way how we express ourselves. So we can see an announcement where they clearly state that it's not okay to be yourself. That is like the way to put it now. We can also see that manifest, and they just approved the pandemic treaty. So things like that are going to come up immensely with the square here. So yeah, just know that it's the first square, and maybe I'm going to digress a little bit here, but while the pandemic happened in 2020, Jupiter and Saturn, they were on top of each other. They were conjunct. So then they implemented a whole new structure, whole new things that they forced upon us. Now we see the first square between Saturn and Jupiter. That is always a time when things can get a little bit more tough. And we see this manifestation of the seed that was planted in 2020. Now we see like the next step in that. Just know if they're going to try to implement things under the square between Jupiter and Saturn, whenever Jupiter is going to oppose Saturn in a couple of years, there's going to be a lot of opposition to all these new rules. There can be backlash, so don't be scared if something gets implemented right now. It's likely not to stay here for our lifetimes. Some people are really freaking out under the pandemic treaty, and I do myself. But yeah, just know that we need to come full circle, and whenever there's an opposition, things will get challenged. And now with the square, definitely. So, but I digress. Okay. So On June the 17th, Mars is going to ingress into Virgo, and yeah, the energy is going to shift from this fiery expression in the sign of Leo to a more grounded, detail-oriented action, Virgo. So Virgo is ruled by Mercury, and Mars here directs its energy into all the things work, health, and service, and our daily routine. All these things are related to Virgo. And Mars in Leo wants recognition. Mars in Virgo wants results. So this can be a highly productive transit, perfect for focusing on efficiency, on solving problems, on organizing chaos, and also on improving healthy habits. So we're going to feel a shift from acting boldly to acting precisely. Be a bit wary, because Virgo can be very, very strict and tough on herself. As a Virgo rising, I know everything about that. So be a bit mindful about hypercriticism, perfectionism, and also burnout. You need to be a bit more careful, because the South Node is currently also in the sign of Virgo. So a lot of people are going to have this tendency to revert to old patterns to keep control. They're going to be hyper focused on this micromanagement, and some of you are going to obsess over the details. So if you caught yourself doing that, please stop yourself. It's Mars in Virgo. There's nothing to do about it. We're going to have to wait until Mars goes out of Virgo. The positive thing about this is that Mars in Virgo really excels when there's a clear system and a clear strategy. So very good time to clean up your routine and get also more serious about increasing your productivity. On a collective level, this transit is going to highlight issues in healthcare and our labor industry, and also going to put an emphasis on workplace ethics. And we need to balance critique with compassion. And Mars in Virgo works best when our actions are rooted in service and not rooted in stress. So Virgo is a sign of stress. Make sure that you do things to release stress. So yeah, if you're feeling restless, really channel your energy into something tangible. You can fix, organize, you can build things, you can edit. If you put your focus on something else and don't be too strict on yourself, you can like fix and organize a whole bunch of stuff, and you're gonna thank yourself after it later. So we then see on June the 18th, Jupiter in Cancer is going to form a square to Neptune and Aries. So this is actually an important one, because the North Node is in Pisces, the South Node is in Virgo. So both the rulers of the North Node are in square to each other, because Jupiter and Neptune, they both rule Pisces. So this is going to be a very deeply spiritual and a very dreamy aspect, but people who are not well grounded are going to feel very confused, disillusioned, and going to be over idolizing people. Neptune in Aries really blurs out the boundaries of our personal identity and also our action. And yeah, the square between these two is like wanting to expand emotionally and struggle to see clearly what's real and what's fantasy. It's a little bit of a warning to not build castles in the clouds. So for people who are well grounded, this can really heighten your intuition. You're going to feel a boost in imagination and creativity, and also very good for compassion, especially if you're working in the spiritual field, in the healing field. Yeah, this is going to be very, very positive. So really stay rooted in self-awareness and also focus on the facts during this time, so you don't float away. So yeah, just know that during this time, growth really requires clarity and not just hope. So don't be afraid to dream big, Jupiter, but also check in with your heart and your gut before you fully leap. So yeah, stay present and especially stay sober. Neptune is addictions. It is wanting to run away from our feelings, go, yeah, I like to call it, we want to hang out in the fog, in the mist, where everything is like undecided. And it's also the planet of denial and not wanting to see reality. So, yeah, stay sober. A lot of people are going to be drunk without drinking that day. So also be careful on the road. Then on June the 20th, the sun will enter Cancer and we're going to see the summer solstice. So, yeah, in the northern hemisphere, of course. So it's the longest day of the year and also a very powerful seasonal reset. And Cancer, of course, is again emotions, family, roots, the home, and our inner security. So it's going to be a very emotionally rich cycle that is going to be especially focused on our connection and vulnerability. And Jupiter is already in Cancer, really enhancing the emotional tone of the month of July. So as the sun then travels through Cancer, it will activate the same emotional themes that Jupiter is already expanding. So there can be a big wave of this heartfelt optimism. There can be deeper bonds with loved ones and also a very big opportunity to heal family stories or rework the foundations of your emotional life. For some, it's gonna be a big turning point that is gonna involve a home move. Maybe someone moves in with you, maybe someone moves out, or a big happy shift in family dynamics that can also give a lot of emotional clarity. So yeah, emotional intelligence, personal authenticity, all these themes are going to be very central at the summer solstice. So ask yourself, what kind of emotional life do I want to build from now on? Really realign with yeah, the heightened sensitivity that we're all going to take partake in. So yeah, sensitivity is going to be heightened immensely. So also very important to protect your energy and nurture your body, and also prioritize environments and also people that make you feel seen, make you feel held, and also make you feel heard. That is going to be very important from now on. So, then to end the month, we're gonna see a Sun conjunct Jupiter in Cancer. So, so much Jupiter energy, so much Cancer. So, yeah, it's gonna be a very emotional month, but in a positive way. I feel like we've all been a bit collectively depressed the last couple of months with all these astrology transits, and I feel now is going to be the time where we're going to really experience these butterflies in our stomach and the need and the craving to get things done, to make our home our sanctuary. Because yeah, the Sun conjunct Jupiter is one of the most fortunate and uplifting transits of the entire year. And the best news is that the day after that, we're going to have a new moon conjunct Jupiter in the sign of Cancer on 4th degree. A Cancer degree, so much Cancer going on. It is incredible. So yeah, a very rare and powerful alignment that radiates emotional joy, optimism, abundance, and can give you a huge boost of creative inspiration. And yeah, these are going to be days when our heart can feel especially full. There are going to be blessings that will arrive in the form of good news. Meaningful new connections can be formed, and yeah, it's especially connected to our roots, our safety, and our inner truth. So yeah, a lot of people are going to feel a very strong urge to express love, to share their abundant overflowing emotions, and a lot of people are gonna wanting to care for others, or start something new that's deeply heartfelt. So yeah, an excellent time to start creative projects, or to make a major family decision or home decision. And yeah, just be wary. Jupiter can inflate a lot of energy, so there's gonna be temptation, especially if Jupiter squares one of your natal planets, to yeah, overextend emotionally, also financially. So yeah, stay grounded, don't overdo it, otherwise it can backfire, because Jupiter, whatever it touches, it makes it huge. So yeah, connect with what truly matters, take emotional risks, and if you're gonna nurture someone, you're gonna receive a lot of blessings. So yeah, a very, very warm, feel-good moment of hope and healing. So very, very positive. Let's maybe quickly look at the new moon chart. Yeah, this is like, I have been waiting for this. Even though there's a yacht involved, for those who know a little bit of astrology, that are the green lines you can see. The new moon is not the apex of the yacht, so it's okay. I'm not mad when I look at this. It's very, very incredible to have Jupiter in the sign of Cancer, a new moon at 4 degrees, a Cancer degree. Yeah, very, very special. I think it's going to be the most important and fertile new moon of 2025. With Jupiter in its exaltation, yeah, big new beginning around emotional security and your home, and just know that it's having this subtle influence because it squares Saturn and Neptune and Aries, and yeah, Saturn demands structure, and Neptune is gonna test our discernment. But overall, a very, very positive new moon that we're gonna see. You must be honest about what you want, and ready to take these grounded steps toward that vision. So it's not just about intention, this one, it's about dedication as well with the square to Saturn. So yeah, a lot of people are gonna move, renovate, conceive, and reconnect with old family members, which is going to heal trauma in the family line. And others are going to create this personal new sanctuary at home, and they're going to change some things up in home that they're going to make them feel even more good. So yeah, if you plant this new seed in regards to your family, or if you want to conceive a baby during this time, yeah, it's going to grow into something big and something powerful over the next 6 months with the conjunction to Jupiter. So yeah, I'm very happy. And of course, I'm going to make a whole separate video about the full and the new moons. And then what else do we got? Yeah, on June the 26th, Mercury is going to ingress into Leo. So then, yeah, our communication will become more bold, more expressive. Mercury is the planet of thought and language and speaking. And it's going to move from emotional Cancer into this flamboyant, passionate Leo. So yeah, very cool. It's going to really shift our collective voice towards more confidence, towards leadership, and also drama. And I think in regards to our world leaders, they will have like a very big mouth during this time. So be wary of that. But it's a good time to speak from the heart. Leo rules the heart. And it's also good to have more courage in the words you want to speak. So if you're, for example, a performer or an artist or a teacher, any kind of leader, or anyone that is looking to make a strong statement, this is also a very good time to do that. Also very good to share your passion, especially through presentations or some kind of performance, and also very beneficial for creative writing or blogging or podcasting or whatever you want to say during this time. Just know on a collective level, Leo is a fixed fire sign, and it can really amplify a lot of ego-driven communication, and there can also be resistance to alternative viewpoints. But it can also carry this greater weight of consequences than expected, because it's Leo. A lot of people are gonna roar, but it's okay to roar whenever it's applicable. Just know if you roar that it's from a heart-centered place of truth. So so you can like inspire others and lead with warmth and also with a lot of authenticity. So just make sure that you're not speaking to dominate, but to uplift. Then on June the 29th, we're going to see Mercury in Leo opposing Pluto and Aquarius. And this is going to be the most intense and psychologically charged transit of the entire month. So yeah, just know that Pluto and Aquarius, Pluto is the planet of transformation and power as well. And yeah, it's opposite the individual mind, Mercury and Leo, against the collective forces and the deeper truths, Pluto and Aquarius. So it's going to bring confrontational conversations, power struggles, and also psychological revelations. Explosive news as well. News in regards to leadership or celebrities, and it's gonna awaken the collective. So I'm immediately thinking about the Diddy case. It can be about some of our world leaders as well, because we know JD Vance and Trump, they both have Leo rising at the later degrees. So yeah, something in regards to them as well. On a personal level, it can be intense dialogue. It can also be mental obsessions or revelations in our personal circle that are going to challenge our worldview. It will also be connected to AI. We're going to receive some intense news regarding AI as well with the Mercury-Pluto opposition. So yeah, this transit can empower the voice or push it into manipulation and control if not handled consciously. So use it to dig for truth and not to dominate. And yeah, on a collective level, it can correlate with a lot of scandals. There's going to be an important whistleblower coming up. And there's going to be information battles, because when there's an opposition, there's a tug of war in the sky. And it's going to be around themes of control, censorship, media, and also technology. So yeah, Pluto and Aquarius really represents the undercurrents of our social power and the digital influence that it brings. And Mercury in Leo is going to challenge that with a personal roar. So really watch for news that exposes leadership and also flaws in our system. And really consider how your voice can really create and change things. So if you run into something a little bit more intense, stay calm, stay honest, and also avoid getting pulled into obsessive thinking or these toxic debates that lead us nowhere. I actually stopped watching the news. I've stopped watching all the tweets that Trump is posting, because yeah, I just don't care anymore. It's just like, I'm gonna trigger people with saying this, but it's like just one big show. And yeah, I can't be bothered anymore. It's just June is a month to lead a happy life and not to lose ourselves in the circus that is, yeah, it's like such a big show, man. Katy Perry in space, the Diddy case. Yeah, there's so much going on, but just focus on yourself and don't get caught up in all the drama, because that's also part of Leo. So here you can take a screenshot if you want to. These are all the ingresses of June. So whenever a planet shifts into another sign, these are dates to keep an eye on if you want. So we're going to start with the readings for the 12 signs, and I'm going to go quickly through this as I'm going to make a few different videos zooming in on all the new and full moons and Jupiter in Cancer and all the good stuff that's about to come. So we're going to start with Aries, Sun, Moon, or Rising. You are going to have a full moon in the sign of Sagittarius, and it's going to happen in your 9th house. So yeah, 9th house, Sagittarius house. As an Aries, you have all the signs at the right place, so that makes it even more yeah, it's manifesting even more fully in your life, because every lunation happens like in the house that it's supposed to. So that's really interesting if you're in Aries rising. So the ninth house is the house of belief, education, travel, and also your purpose, your worldview. It's going to bring a big culmination around something that you've been learning, or maybe if you prepared something to launch, then this is a good moment. And it's also a mindset shift that is occurring. So release outdated belief system or philosophical outlooks that no longer resonate with where you're going right now. And with the mutable grand cross, there's tension between your daily life and your soul's higher calling. And also, you might get confronted with a situation that it challenges your perspective a little bit, and it's possibly going to be around faith, ethics, or long-term goals. Maybe you're gonna bump into all these things while traveling abroad. Traveling is a very good thing to do during a full moon in the ninth house. Some of you Aries are gonna come back from a travel as well. And Jupiter, the ruler of this moon, is in exaltation in your fourth house of Cancer. So a very strong emotional support from the family can come in. Your home base gets expanded, and also your inner insecurity, your inner security, excuse me, as you move through all these changes and with all these shifts happening in your sign, Saturn and Neptune jumping in your sign. There's a big chapter closing, and the way you approach truth and also your higher learning are shifting, and now is a time to really integrate what you've learned with what you're emotionally rooted in. So yeah, a good time for foreign travel, publishing, and also spiritual teachings. You could start a new one or complete one, and also trust what you let go of now, that is making space for a deeper alignment with your core values and also your emotional well-being. We then have the new moon in the sign of Cancer for my dear Aries. That is happening, of course, in your fourth house of home, family, roots, and your emotional foundation. So a very, very powerful and fertile time for setting intentions around where and how you want to live. So it's also very good for healing these generational patterns and also for deepening relationships with your family. And Jupiter here is going to bring this big, expansive influence. So there are going to be opportunities for moving, renovating, or expanding your household in some way. And if you don't want to move, then it's going to happen in great emotional security. So yeah, very, very positive. Just know that there are minor tensions with Saturn and Neptune in Aries, so you're really being encouraged to build something stable from the inside out. Plant roots that can really support your future growth. And also ask yourself, what does emotional safety mean to me? And the intentions that you will set now, especially around your home and your family, have the potential to really blossom into long-lasting peace and prosperity. So good luck, my dear Aries. And Hannah says, I remember from our reading, I have my moon in Cancer. Yes, in the fifth house. I still remember, Hannah. So yeah, it's going to be a very fortunate time for you, because the fifth house is the house of fun. So yeah, it's going to be sexy time for you, Hannah. The Lakeside Laura says, hello. Hi, Laura. So happy you're here with us today. So then we're gonna switch over to my dear Taurus, sun, moon, or rising. You are gonna have a full moon in the sign of Sagittarius in your eighth house, which is a very, very deep and intense house. It's about shared resources, intimacy, and transformation, but also psychological depth. So yeah, it's a big, big, how do you say it, murky waters that is part of the eighth house. So it also is in connection to debts, taxes, inheritances, investments, or the full moon could also trigger a release around emotional entanglements, some power struggles, or deep-seated fears that wish to be purged. So Jupiter is in exaltation in your third house. So it's going to offer very powerful support through your siblings, your close friends, and also communication. And if you want to learn something new, you can like really expand with that right now. So very, very positive Jupiter jumping into your third house. It's also your immediate environment, so you can bump into a lot of happiness even by going to the store or to the gas station or something like that. And you can learn from your immediate environment as well. So very, very positive. So don't get stuck at home because it's in a sign of Cancer. Go out and have fun. Short-term trips is also very possible. But more on that for my Jupiter and Cancer video soon. So just know siblings, close friends, communication, learning, and also pay close attention to what emotional patterns that come up that you're ready to let go of. The more honest and vulnerable you can be, the more empowered that you will become. Then we have the new moon for my dear Taurus in the third house, which is communication, mindset, learning, and your local community. So yeah, major opportunity to reset your mental narrative. And also if you want to launch something or write, or if you have a speaking project, if you want a podcast, very, very perfect time to do that. Jupiter has an expansive influence, and just know that your voice carries more weight. The third house is about speaking. So yeah, if you feel called to teach, share your story, dive into a new skill, this is enormous potential. There's going to be breakthroughs in the way you think and express yourself. So yeah, the new moon really invites you to build emotional intelligence into your daily thoughts and habits. Yeah, there is some tension to Saturn and Neptune in the 11th, in the 12th, excuse me. So yeah, focus on daily rituals and also messages that nurture your inner peace, because that can be a little bit disturbed with Saturn in the 12th. But just know that the seeds that you plant now, whether through communication, learning, and short trips, can really lead to very deep emotional satisfaction and also can lead to valuable new connections. So good luck, my dear Taurus. We have Gemini, Sun, Moon, or Rising. You are going to have the full moon in Sagittarius in your 7th house of relationships and very close one-on-one dynamics or bonds. So there can be a big culmination or a big turning point in a key partnership. That can be romantic, business, personal, or something reaching clarity or some kind of resolution. So yeah, are your current partnerships aligned with your own truth? This lunation is really going to encourage you to release these outdated relationship dynamics that no longer support mutual growth. And Jupiter, the ruler of this moon, is exalted in your 2nd house of values, income, self-worth. So a very big emotionally clarifying time to really reclaim your voice, your needs, and also your boundaries. And it's going to have a positive effect on your income. So yeah, there can be a new contract, new collaboration, or a relational agreement that can shift under this full moon, especially if your partnerships have been out of balance. Then this moon can signify an ending in that. And with Jupiter jumping to the 2nd house of finances and is ruled by the full moon and is going to be conjunct with the new moon that I'm going to switch over right now, something in regards to partnerships is going to change. Your income is going to change, your money on the bank. So yeah, there can be even a freeing of a relationship that is a little bit burdensome for you. So yeah, a big shift. Let me know what happens for you. I'm actually curious. And just know that you're being asked to honor your own truth and also your own self-respect while navigating the desires of others. So just know it's a vice versa story, and also trust that relationships built on honesty and mutual support will really, really thrive under this influence, and others may be gracefully left behind. So just know that there's a shift happening in that area for you right now. Then If we look at the new moon, then we can see that there's a new moon in your second house and it's conjunct Jupiter, the planet of expansion and happiness and joy. So this really is an invite and a powerful reset around money, values, self-esteem, and also your material resources. So a very abundant and emotionally rich opportunity to create more security in your finances and also your relationships with your own self-worth. So what do I truly value and how do I want to earn, save, and invest my energy and my money? With Jupiter here, the doors are opening for a long-term financial growth opportunity or an emotionally fulfilling income. And there can be a shift in resources, there can be a breakthrough in resources, and maybe Jupiter is signifying a lot. It expands everything, so there can even be a new source of income happening for you, and it can be in regards to caring for others is a sign of Cancer. It can be in regards to children, can even be in regards of a family business or something like that, or food or something that nurtures others. That is a sign of Cancer. So just know there can be a little bit of tension from Saturn and Neptune, and they are in your 11th house. So yeah, there can be some pressure that you feel that is on your career right now, and you wanting to shift something in that. Maybe you're getting a little bit bored. This new moon is going to offer you an opportunity to reset something in that. And really, yeah, the new moon calls you to nurture your inner world and also to invest what's emotionally sustainable, not just socially impressive. So there can be a new financial project that is also going to anchor some new personal values. So really plant seeds for lasting abundance. If you start something new in regards to money during this time, it has the potential to grow very, very big with Jupiter. So focus on stability that really feeds both your wallet and also your soul. That is like the key takeaway from this new moon. So I wish you the best of luck, my dear Gemini. We have Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Rising. You're going to have a full moon in Sag in your 6th house of health, work, routines, and service towards others. So it's going to be a major shift or a realization around how you take care of your body and also how you manage your daily responsibilities. So you can experience a very big turning point in your job, a turning point with your colleagues, some of your colleagues that quit at your job. And also a change in your physical wellness because of that. It's closely linked towards each other. So there can also be a very big culmination in a project that requires a lot of precision and focus, and something gets expanded and you can get released of that with Sagittarius. So also know that the 6th house is the house of stress, it's the house of health. So be a bit careful. If you have been experiencing too much stress, just know that this full moon is going to be an opportunity to release yourself from that. Maybe a coworker that quits is going to be actually positive and releases some kind of stress. Something can happen in regards to that. So be sure to let me know what's going on. Also, very, very positive, because my Cancers are going to be the lucky one in June. Jupiter enters your sign and lights up your 1st house. So you're being really reminded to put yourself and your well-being first. And also you've grown so much emotionally and spiritually with Jupiter in your 12th house for all that time. But now is the time to align your daily life with that growth that you've been through. So if you have been overextending yourself in service towards others, this full moon is going to bring clarity around what needs to be healed. Maybe you need to delegate more, or maybe you're going to have an insight in what needs to be released. And also know the 6th house is the body. So your body is speaking to you during this time. Listen carefully and make adjustments that support your long-term vitality. And then, my dear Cancer, we're gonna have a new moon in your sign this month. So on the 25th of June, you're going to have a new moon in your first house. This is like the ultimate personal reset. And it's conjunct Jupiter, which is exalted in your sign. So yeah, one of the most significant new beginnings that you've had in over a decade. So you're being invited to step into this whole new version of yourself that can be emotionally, physically and spiritually. And I guess with Jupiter in your 12th house for such a long time, it's all three of them. So yeah, whether you're making changes to your appearance, to how you think, your mindset, your beliefs, your direction in life, this chance is, this new moon is a chance to really plant powerful seeds for personal growth, confidence, and self-leadership. Just know that Saturn and Neptune are on your MC at the top of the chart in the 10th house, and it's creating a little bit of tension. So some people are gonna be fired at their job or feel blocked at their job, and now is gonna be like the time to be like, okay, I'm throwing in the towel, I'm out, I'm gonna change something, I need to like fully reinvent myself. Some of you are gonna be retiring with Saturn entering the 10th house. So that can be like a very big new shift in itself as well. So yeah, this is your time to really initiate a new chapter, one where you no longer shrink yourself or you no longer delay your emotional needs. Don't just dream it, be it. Your growth begins always with choosing yourself, and that is something that you will strongly feel during this time. So I wish you the best of luck, my dear Cancer. Then we have Leo, Sun, Moon, or Rising. You're going to have the full moon in Sag in your 5th house of creativity, romance, self-expression, and kids, and also the house of joy. So having you, dear Leo Risings, you are so lucky. You have such a fire, passionate rising sign, and then the 5th house is like Sagittarius for you. So that is like, these are blessings. So this full moon is going to bring emotional clarity or some kind of closure around something that you're very passionate about. So maybe you complete a very big creative project. Maybe you're going to experience a big turning point in a romantic relationship. Or you can gain insight in how you express your joy and how you assert your individuality. It's a time to reclaim what lights you up. The 5th house is so cool. It's sexy, it's flirty, it's expressive, it's passionate, it is light, it is fun, it is awesome. So then the ruler of this full moon is of course Jupiter, and it's in the 12th house of spirituality and retreat and the unseen realms, spirituality, the things we cannot see but they are there. That is like the 12th house. So it really encourages you to trust your inner knowing, and if you've been sacrificing your joy for others, or if you've been like pushing through the point of a burnout, then this lunation is gonna let some of that pressure go, and it's giving you the chance to reconnect with your creative essence. So old stories around your worthiness, or like how you feel you're worthy enough to shine, are going to rise to the surface in order for you to be fully release them. It's at the 20 degree, it's a Scorpio degree, so something gets purged in the 5th house. But just know that this moon says that you deserve joy, you deserve love, and you deserve time to play. So yeah, let this full moon be a celebration of the parts of you that make life beautiful. That is like the best way to handle this energy. Then if you look at the upcoming new moon, that is going to happen conjunct Jupiter in your 12th house in the sign of Cancer. So 12th house, closure, healing, solitude, but also the subconscious mind. So a very, very deeply restorative time for emotional release and also spiritual rebirth. And Jupiter is gonna really bless you in the realm of spirituality, and you're gonna receive so much signs and messages through dreams that is gonna make you very happy. Normally, yeah, Jupiter enlarges everything, and when it enters the 12th house, the house of sleep, some of you are going to want to sleep more. But be careful that you don't find too much joy and escapism. That is something to be mindful about. So also, This is going to be an opportunity to shed a lot of karmic baggage and very good for healing old or hidden wounds. The 12th house can be a little bit hidden. We cannot touch or grasp or fully understand what goes on in the 12th house. So also very powerful opportunity to reconnect with your intuition and also your inner peace. Not a time for action. It's a time for surrender and planting seeds on a very deep soul level. So yeah, listen very closely to your dreams, rest often, and let the past dissolve itself in a very graceful way. So I wish you good luck, my dear Leo, and let me know what's going on for you with Jupiter in the 12th. I'm actually very curious about your dreams that are going to come up soon. Then we have Virgo, sun, moon, or rising. You're going to have the full moon in Sag in your 4th house of home, family, and emotional roots. It's also your ancestral lineage, the 4th house. So the full moon is going to bring up matters of safety, heritage, your domestic life, and you might experience a move or some kind of shift in your family, or there can also be an emotional realization about your past. And with the grand mutable cross, which is gonna affect you in a very significant way as a Virgo rising, as a mutable sign. Yeah, your foundations are being tested. And perhaps your living situation or your family patterns are a bit at odds with your current goals or your relationships that you currently have. So yeah, it's a time to release a lot of emotional baggage and to find new forms of stability. And Jupiter is entering your 11th house of future goals and friendships. The 11th house is also the payout from all the investments you've made in the 10th house in your career. You've done a lot of work in the past few months advancing in your career. There could have been a career expansion and you having to work more, work harder, or be some kind of guider or teacher or mentor in your own business. Now when Jupiter enters the 11th, you're going to have the payout from all the effort you put in that. So but the 11th house is also friendships and also future goals. So it reminds you that it's like safe to expand your group circle, to expand your view on your friends. Maybe you're going to have more friends that are going to bring you more joy. Maybe you're going to meet a mentor that becomes your friend. And also, you're going to expand beyond the old definitions of home and what that means to you. And also, you're being supported in creating an emotional base that really reflects your evolving purpose. So I know my Virgo risings, my fellow Virgo risings, let go of guilt, let go of outdated obligations, and also let go of these ancestral patterns that no longer serve you. And ask yourself, what kind of home do I want to build within myself and around me? And the answer lies in what makes you feel truly held, seen, and loved. Hi, Arno. So happy you're here. So then for my Virgos, we are going to have a new moon in the 11th house, and it's going to be in Cancer. So the 11th house, community, dreams, long-term visions as well. Powerful new beginning in your social life, also in your life direction in general. You might be joining a new group, a new community. You might launch a very visionary project, or simply deepen friendships that feel emotionally nourishing to you. So, yeah, plant seeds around hopes for the future, especially those who are rooted in authenticity and also emotional fulfillment. Just know that there are some squares from Saturn and Neptune to your 8th. So just don't borrow money to your friends. That's like the first thing that pops up. But you might also feel a little bit pressure from taxes, loans, debts, shared finances. And yeah, if such a things If they are no longer aligned with your future vision, just let it go. Use this tension to like get clear on what you truly need in terms of support and also collaboration. This lunation really opens the doors to networking and networks that really reflect your values and not just your past. Saturn and Neptune in the eighth, the past is over. You're gonna have this whole new thing that is gonna start from now on and then fully emerge in spring 2026 for the Northern Hemisphere. So, yeah, it's your time to call in community that really honors your heart and helps you to build a future that you've been quietly dreaming of. So good luck. We then have Libra, Sun, Moon, or Rising. You're gonna have the full moon in Sag in your third house of communication, learning, siblings, and your immediate environment. So it's a big culmination or a big shift in how you connect and share ideas. Maybe you're gonna finish a writing project. You can have a very, very important conversation or reach a big turning point involving local matters, involving short-term trips. And there's a grand mutable cross in play. There are squares to the north node happening, so you might feel a little bit overwhelmed by conflicting messages. You could also deal with a bit of a mental overload or tension between speaking up versus staying quiet. And for you, Libra, the scales, I know that's already tough for you, but just know that it's time to clear mental clutter and really speak your truth with this moon, because Jupiter is exalted and it's in your 10th house of Cancer, so it's lighting up your career, and Jupiter is the ruler, of course, of this moon, but it is lighting up your career and your long-term goals, and also yeah, it wants emotional clarity around your voice that can support your public success. So the truth really wants to come out and you're gonna feel it. You might discover that being honest, even when it's very vulnerable, is your greatest strength right now. And it's going to really expand and yeah, crack things open for you right now in the mind. So you might also receive some guidance from a mentor or some kind of authority figure that helps you to see your path in, forward or your path in front of you, and also know, just trust your inner wisdom and don't be afraid to say what you really want or what you really mean. So for my dear Libras, you're gonna have a new moon in the sign of Cancer in your 10th house of career. 10th house of legacy, reputation, and also people and authority, like your boss is in the 10th house, and it's going to offer a profound new beginning in how you show up in the world, because the 10th house is very, very publicly seen. So very perfect time to launch a new business or step into some kind of leadership role. And also, yeah, very good time to redefine your purpose in life. So align your professional goals with your emotional truth, because Jupiter is present here, so there's an incredible growth potential, but it must be fully rooted in what truly matters to your heart. So yeah, it's like a very big, potent chance to initiate a new path that really reflects both your ambition and your soul. Just know that there's a square to Saturn and Neptune in your 7th house. So some of the things you might want to implement in your career or in your own business might receive a bit of backlash from very close personal one-on-one relationships, or maybe partnerships, or maybe marriage. So just know that that can happen. The balance is, yeah, balance is key for my Libras, of course. Just know that your emotional authenticity must match your work ethic as well. So yeah, really start planting seeds for a future where your public role doesn't come at the expense of your emotional well-being. It's really time to lead for you, my dear Libras, with both your heart and integrity. So I wish you the best of luck. We then have my dear Scorpio, Sun, Moon, or Rising. You're going to have a full moon in Sag on June the 11th in your 2nd house of money, self-worth, and values. So it's going to bring a lot of awareness to how you earn, spend, and honor your sense of value or your sense of self. So yeah, you might also experience a big financial turning point. You can complete a project that brings more income. You can, or maybe a stream of income can complete and can end. Maybe you don't need it anymore. Maybe it's just reaching its culmination. That is a possibility. And yeah, it's also some kind of release because it's happening on the 20th degree, which is a Scorpio degree. So this moon is of uttermost importance for you, my dear Scorpio. And there can be a release in a scarcity mindset that kept you small. So there's also a grand mutable cross to the north and the south node, and it's going to activate tension around resources for you. So yours, others, and those shared emotionally or financially things are going to pop up, and this lunation helps you to define what you truly value and what you no longer want to tolerate in regards to your value system and in regards how you earn your money. Jupiter, the ruler of this moon, is going to enter your ninth house. Is going to offer a lot of emotional perspective from a higher place, from spiritual places, from teachers, from long distance mentors. There can also be philosophical insight that is going to help ground your choices that you want to make in regards to your money during that time. So yeah, you're being asked to make financial and self-worth decisions that are in alignment with your broader vision. So really let go of material ties or these limiting beliefs that don't reflect your true goal growth. And also, yeah, this is a powerful opportunity to build this new relationship with abundance, one that really honors your inner power. Then we have a new moon. And the new moon is going to be in Cancer and it's going to happen in your ninth house of travel, spirituality, teaching, publishing, higher purpose, higher education, a very deeply expansive new beginning that really urges you to think big and also dream beyond the borders of your current life. Jupiter is going to expand it massively. If you can book a travel, a long distance travel, do it during this time. It's going to offer you so much insight, so much happiness, so much joy, so much wisdom. It's going to expand your mindset immensely if you travel during this time. So yeah, think big and dream beyond the borders of your current life, as I said, but also yeah, pursue new studies, publish something meaningful, make big announcement for the world to see. Jupiter is exalted in your ninth house. There's enormous support for stepping into your higher mission. So very, very cool. Yeah, just know that yeah, it's like your invitation to really step into your wisdom and share that with the world during this new moon. So yeah, very big potential. Also know that Jupiter, when it enters Cancer, it's gonna start trining your sign. So yeah, that is like so much luck, so much protection, so much joy. But if you're a Scorpio rising and Jupiter will start to trine your rising, just know that you can gain a little bit of weight. I want to warn you for that. Jupiter, whatever it touches, it enlarges. When it's trining the rising or the sun, it's going to enlarge as well. So maybe keep that in mind a little bit. But other than that, very blissful, very positive new moon, and I wish you the best of luck. Barnel says, Hannah declared together we are moon in Cancer. Don't be distracted, Astrid. I know what you are thinking. I will not give any comments to that, Arno Sluber. Okay, then we have Sagittarius. You are gonna have a full moon in your sign. So very, very powerful. The first house is the house of identity, self-image, and also personal power. Yeah, so you're ready to shift, to make this big shift. It's going to be a very deeply liberating moment for you. You're going to shed this old identity. You can reassert your truth during this time. Yeah, take bold new steps into a whole new territory. But yeah, just know that there's a big grand mutable cross going on with the squares to the north and the south node in your 4th and your 10th house. You might feel a little bit torn between your personal desires, your relationships, and your spiritual needs. But one thing is very, very clear. It's time to stand in your truth. And also Jupiter, the ruler of this moon, and of course your ruler, your chart ruler, if you're a Sagittarius rising, it's going to enter the 8th house. Woo! This is going to be so positive. Jupiter enlarges everything that it touches, so it's going to offer huge emotional depth, resilience, transformation. You are going to learn how to own your power, not just externally, but from the depths within. It is the 8th house of Scorpio. So, yeah, this full moon is really going to illuminate how much you've outgrown your old walls, and it's going to inspire you to reclaim a new narrative, especially about yourself. So let go of what doesn't reflect your soul's growth, and also be very willing to say goodbye to the outdated versions of yourself. And say hello to a new, empowered, involving you. Then, very cool for Sagittarius, the new moon as well, because it's conjunct Jupiter, your ruler. We're going to have a new moon in the sign of Cancer in your 8th house. And also the 8th house is other people's resources. So yeah, the 8th house is intimacy, joint finances, inheritance, healing, and deep transformation. Whenever Jupiter enters the 8th house, there can be an expansion in shared resources. But as there can be like an expansion in money, but the more money flows in, the more money flows out. It works both ways. So you need to be a little bit careful with that and know how to handle its energy. But yeah, either way, deep healing, deep transformation. Jupiter is exalted in the sign of Cancer, so there's an incredible potential for healing these past hidden wounds. It's going to forge these deeper connections. Yeah, some of you are going to combine your resources with someone else. Also positive for seeking therapy and facing your fears around vulnerability. There's really a chance to rebuild all of this from the inside out. There's just a little bit tension of Saturn and Neptune in the 4th house, and it's going to highlight, yeah, how you express yourself, and maybe some adaptations need to be made in that. Or maybe you want to have a lot of fun, but you need to do deep inner healing work, and it's diverting a little bit from all your joy and the things you really want to do. But just know that you need to embrace trust, emotional honesty, and that will lead to a very empowered release if you're willing to face what's hidden and plant new seeds for deep inner growth. If you do that, the rewards will be lasting and very big and profound with the conjunction to your chart ruler. So it is a chance to rise stronger, wiser, and more emotionally sovereign as well. So good luck, my dear Sagittarius. Let me know what's going on for you. I'm very, very curious. I really love your sign and all these things that are going on for you. That is like party time. So yeah. Good luck, my dear Sagittarius. Lakeside Laura. Thank you so much, Laura. I have been walking the dog at the sea, and I know when I do that, then I'm like full of energy. Even though my hair looks like a bird's nest from walking on the beach, I love walking the dog. So, and Barnell says fun, healing, and surrendering. Yes, exactly. Fun, healing, and surrendering. If you surrender to the deeper issues, then Saturn will be happy. If you take your responsibility, you will be able to enjoy life. Even though Saturn in the 5th is not a lot of fun, but still very, very positive for my dear Sagittarius. Then we have Capricorn, Sun, Moon, or Rising. You are gonna have the full moon in the sign of Sagittarius in your 12th house. So yeah, whenever it's in the 12th house, it can be, yeah, it's the house of solitude, spirituality, hidden patterns, and it's going to bring closure to something that you've been carrying in the background. Maybe something is going to end that you didn't even were aware of that it was there. So the 12th house can be very, very special and mystical. So yeah, it can even be something energetically that ends, because you can have profound downloads in your dreams, which are part of the 12th house. And with a full moon in Sag, the sign of higher wisdom, yeah, that is like, can be very, very profound prophetic messages or prophetic dreams. So it's also gonna illuminate the need to release control. You can find that you crave more restful, deep, full sleep. You might want to rest more in general, and it's also very profound for healing wounds that you've been holding onto in silence. And there is a grand, beautiful cross to the north and the south node, and it only creates some tension between your physical and your mental health. And also look at your spiritual and daily habits, and are they in balance with each other, because it's about your spiritual well-being as well. And it's going to urge you to really recognize where you may be mentally overloaded or spiritually depleted. So just know that Jupiter, the ruler of this lunation, is going to be exalted in your 7th house in the sign of Cancer, and it's the house of partnerships. So it's going to offer this immense support of emotional clarity and what you need from another person. So there can also be a significant ending in regards to another person, because whenever Jupiter comes into the 7th house, it can be some kind of release, or some release of a burden in the realms of marriage or business partnership. And with the full moon in the 12th, which signifies a final ending, that can be a big release and something that you're going to feel relieved. Jupiter gives you happiness. So don't freak out when I say this. But yeah, also a one-on-one connection could also act as a very big mirror, showing you what you're ready to let go of. So yeah, the full moon is not about pushing forward. It's about retreating, reflection, and also a big soul level, energetically kind of release that's going to happen. So allow yourself to grieve, to rest, and to complete a big karmic cycle, because what you let go of now will really open the space for peace and future partnership, to have some kind of growth and happiness and joy and abundance that you've never experienced before, or you haven't experienced for over 12 years. So look at it from the bright side. Then we have the new moon for Capricorn, and that is going to happen in the 7th house. That's why I said like, if something gets released, something way better is gonna come in place for you. So the new moon in Cancer is going to be conjunct Jupiter in the 7th house of marriage, partnership, relationships, and one-on-one connections. This is one of the most emotionally expansive and also healing lunations of the entire year for you. So yeah, a lot of Capricorn risings are going to start a new relationship, or maybe some of you are going to recommit to an existing one, but I think it will be a new one. Others are going to redefine how you relate to others. And if you want to make a shift in that, if you want to have more conscious awareness about how you connect to others, all these things are going to help you immensely. So this new moon is going to plant seeds of trusts. It's going to plant seeds of closeness and also shared emotional depth. And it can be a very joyful, yeah, happy time and your connections and your close one-on-one connections with others. So Jupiter's blessings here are really making this a very, very powerful time for forming new, meaningful, real soul level bond connections. I'm like maybe overplaying with my words, but that is also part of Jupiter, and I have Jupiter in my 3rd house of communication, and because it's all Jupiter here, I like to just go all in. So yeah, just know that it's a time to nurture your connection through vulnerability and empathy, the relationships that are being formed now or getting strengthened now can really evolve into a deeply supportive union, both personally but also professionally. So I wish you the best of luck, my dear Capricorn. And oh, Laura says, I am having my Jupiter return right now. Oh my God, that is so cool. So, you have Jupiter in Gemini or in Cancer. Are you a late Jupiter in Gemini? Because that is it's cool with Mercury now in Gemini and also the new moon we just had. It's a blissful time for you, Laura. So make the most of it. Um, then we have my dear Aquarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising. You're going to have the full moon in Sag on June the 11th in your 11th house of friendships, networks, and your future goals. So it's going to ask you to reflect on who you're aligned with and whether or not your current connections really support your growth. So a chapter may close with a friend. It can also close something off in regards to your community. Something sees a culmination in a group endeavor, or you might experience a powerful realization about what your true vision for the future is. There's also a big or a grand mutable cross to the north and the south node in your second and your eighth house. It's going to put some pressure on your sense of direction. So, what dreams are real and which ones are distractions? And Jupiter is going to be exalted, entering your sixth house. Okay, this is cool and not cool at the same time, because when I had Jupiter entering my sixth house, I had so much work. But if you're looking for work, it's nice. But if you already have been dealing with a lot of work, then it can be like an overload. So be careful. In regards to health, because the sixth house is also health, if you have not been struggling with any health issues, then Jupiter is going to act as a protector. Just know, if you have health issues before Jupiter enters your sixth house, then Jupiter is going to enlarge it. So it's a tricky one. This transit really depends on your own natal chart, which I would need to take a look at. But just know that Jupiter does have a good manifestation in the sign of Cancer. So it must be infusing you in some kind of way in your health, in your daily life, in your routine, in your schedule. It can get quite busy, to be honest. But I think the busyness will give you some kind of abundance and happiness, and it's also going to enlarge your vision, or going to bring a lot more awareness to your daily routine and your daily life. And the co-workers. If you have a new co-worker in the next few months, then it's going to be one that is going to provide you with a lot of happiness. So just know that the full moon is going to help you balance your vision with your practical steps. And you're being asked to release attachments to your social roles in the 11th house, or goals that no longer resonate for you. So, invest in the habits and in the systems that nurture your long-term well-being. And also ask yourself, do my friendships and aspirations reflect my growth, or do they keep me stuck in the past? And you're gonna know what to do with these kind of connections. Then we have the new moon for my dear Aquarius, and that's going to happen in the sign of Cancer in your sixth house on June the 25th, and it's going to be conjunct Jupiter. So, sixth house, as I already mentioned, routines, wellness, work, service towards others. And it's offering a very big chance with Jupiter, big, large, a lot of potential to make a radical improvement to your everyday life. And even with Jupiter here, even the small changes can have a big ripple effect. So perfect time to adopt a new health habit, find more fulfilling work, developing a more emotionally grounded routine as well. And it's also going to be an excellent time to set intentions around creating emotional balance through structure and self-care. Self-care is going to be giving you a lot of abundance if you really focus on that. Just know that there's a little bit of a struggle going on with Saturn and Neptune. It's going to make a square towards that, but I'm not mad when I'm looking at this new moon and this such a big blessing. But it's going to square the two big bad boys, Saturn and Neptune, in your third house of the mind. So just don't overthink it in regards of your daily life or in regards to your job or your service towards others. Just give it time. Jupiter will bless you and let things grow in a very natural, graceful way. Just know that this new moon is going to help you to nurture your body, mind, and also your work rhythm in a way that actually leads to greater ease and satisfaction. So plant seeds now that both support your productivity and also your emotional health, and you're going to thank yourself later. So good luck, my dear Aquarius. Then last but not least, my dear Pisces, Sun, Moon, or Rising, you are going to have a full moon in Sag happening on June the 11th, and it's going to activate your 10th house of career, public image, and your long-term goals. It's going to bring a major milestone or a big decision or a closure in your professional life, in your business, with your boss, something that is being seen publicly, a big announcement, all these things are possible. And because of that, you might receive some kind of recognition, you might complete a major project, or also reach some kind of crossroad regarding your ambitions in the world. We also have a grand mutable cross, and for you that's important because you're a Pisces, you are a mutable sign, and the moon squares the north node in your sign. So it's going to highlight a bit of a challenge of balancing your home, your career, and your identity, and also your partnerships. So it's affecting your sign, it's affecting all the angular houses. So something needs to shift, something needs to change. There's a lot of pressure during this moon for you guys. So just know that your outer success must be rooted in your emotional truth, otherwise it's going to be hard for you. So the positive thing is that Jupiter, which is your ruler, it's going to enter Cancer and it's going to be exalted in your 5th house of creativity, joy, and self-expression. So this time you're being guided to align your career with your passions and also your inner light. The full moon is not just about this external success, it's about authenticity and emotional fulfillment in what you do on a daily basis as well. It's yeah. If your role is no longer bringing you joy or it's some kind of off your purpose, now is the time to let it go. So say yes to visibility, but only if it reflects your true self. If we then look at the new moon for my dear Pisces, that is going to happen in your 5th house of creativity, romance, joy, children, and it's conjunct Jupiter. So Jupiter is going to enlarge and make all the good things in life bigger. The way how you express yourself, the way how passionate you are, you can have like an abundance and new hobbies going on. So yeah. This new moon is offering one of the most emotionally fulfilling new beginnings of the entire year. And it's in the water sign, and a fellow water sign that is trining your sun, moon, or rising. So blissful. Pisces, you guys are so blessed during this next year with Jupiter in the sign of Cancer. And like, I have 4 planets in Pisces. I have been waiting so long all this time. So yeah. This is like, oh, finally, we're here. I can like almost not believe it. So it's very good to plant new seeds for creative projects, for heartfelt expression, and also joyful experience that really feed the soul. Whether it's a new love story, a new passion project, a new hobby, or some new relationship can only be very casual. That is gonna give you a lot of pleasure. Jupiter presence is gonna amplify your ability to manifest beauty and joy. So yeah, it's time to trust in your own magic and to follow what makes your heart come alive, because the 5th house is the house of the heart. So yeah, I'm actually very happy, especially for Pisces and also Scorpio. Everyone who has some kind of water placement is gonna, yeah, it's gonna be very, very beneficial with Jupiter in the sign of Cancer. So yeah, I am excited. And then Hannah says, already feeling the self care. It's like a catalyst towards creativity. Yes, self care. Yeah, filling your own cup. That is the most important thing to do. And with Jupiter in the sign of the home, the best way we can do that is inside our own sanctuary. So, yeah, very, very positive. And then Arno says, my girlfriend just had a breakthrough healing mother bomb. She's a Capricorn rising and a Sagittarius sun. Oh, that is interesting. I'm holding space for her and trying not to be affected when she is. Yeah, that is sometimes very difficult in relationships. When you ebb and flow together, then that can sometimes be a little bit more difficult to navigate. That's why I always look at synastry, which is a compatibility chart of two people where we combine and look at what the transits and the planets are doing in each other's houses. If the moon is badly affected, then that is can be quite difficult. But if you have beautiful aspects towards the moon, then you can be like Arno and you can be able to hold space for people who are currently ebbing while you're flowing. So that is so beautiful that we have synastry where we can look at that as well. And I think I've went over all the comments. So yeah, that was it for today. There you have it. That was June 2025. If you like this video and if you would like me to do more monthly overviews, yeah, leave me a comment. Let me know if you enjoyed it. If you're new here, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. So yeah, just remember that clarity comes from courage and your emotions are going to be your compass, especially in the month of June with Jupiter entering the sign of Cancer. And yeah, let me know which transits are you feeling the most or which transit is making you the most happy and what are your intentions for the month ahead. So thank you so much for watching. Stay grounded, stay magical, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.